all of his fans go, okay, so if I want to be Destiny, I've got to be like that. If someone's not a historian and they say a certain historical event didn't happen, does that mean you go easy on them? No, obviously not. He must know that as long as he acts that way, he will have that audience. They are going to emulate that. Treat these people like scum. These people are filth. They're traitors. This is a guideline for how every conversation with a conservative should go. Why do you think this is happening? So I knew this was going to be a bad stream because I saw the title. I saw Chillin', self-glazing / community critique. Anytime I see a title like that, I know it's going to be bad. So, self-glazing / community critique. It's so funny how many times just close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes, throw your mind back, enter your mind palace, all right? Go back through Destiny streams you've watched, okay? Start doing the full like Sherlock thing where you're like swiping things around. Start scrolling through Destiny streams in your mind. How many times has this guy said, oh, I don't talk about the good things I do enough. I don't talk about how nice I am enough. I don't talk about how good my community is enough. I don't talk about all this shit. And then but it's every other fucking day. This guy is like, you know, something I think I do really well, something I think I've achieved really well is it's every 5 fucking minutes with this guy. Is it not? Am I crazy? I remember a time when this guy used to pretend to be humble. And now it's non-stop, man. It's crazy. And anytime there's some community critique, as a community critique, I'm doing air quotes. You can't see me. I'm not on camera right now. But if I were on camera and hadn't just woken up in my desk chair, you would see that I'm doing air quotes with my fingers here right now when I say community critique. Because what that means is like he's gonna sit here and go, okay, one thing I think I've achieved really well is that my community are really good disagreeing with people, and they're really vocal and mobile. But I think with that, we've got to kind of consider, we've got to look at tone. It's going to be like this lecture where he sits there and tries to do this carrot and stick approach to guiding his community's behavior to somehow being better than his. When like 2 weeks ago, this guy was on, you know, Scorched Earth arc, death to conservatives, and now it's we've got to be nicer, and it's very apparent why that is. You know, we'll go over it, but just to give you the long and the short of it, Ayla, the sex worker who doesn't shower, put up a tweet saying that while she's very resilient to male horniness, Destiny's community is actually especially bad. It's actually the worst community. Well, not, you shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. Just saying it's uniquely bad. So we're going to take a look at this.
More community shaping of behavior, okay? More community shaping of behavior. I shape community behavior in 2 ways. I talk to you for a little bit, and then I ban incredibly aggressively because that's what we do here, all right? I'm not getting baited by YouTube chat. Okay. Here are a couple facts about me, all right, that make me an awesome person, all right? One.
Like, it's so crazy. He does this every other day now. I saw. How does anyone watch this? How does anyone watch post, like, 2022 Destiny? I'm lost. No idea. This is every other day, I swear. I see this guy doing this non-stop now. A full sip as well. He starts off with a full sip. A full slurp, in fact.
Okay. Here are a couple facts about me, all right, that make me an awesome person, all right? One, I have a very wide variety of interests. All right. No, even before this. Okay.
He's just he's the most interesting guy on the planet. This is the most interesting wigger on the planet. Let's fucking go. He had just such a wide variety of interests. He's just sort of like a Renaissance man.
Foundationally, I have a decent mind for tackling a new problem and understanding the extent to which my knowledge matches what can be known, and then trying to pair my convictions up appropriately. So if I venture into a new field, I'm generally hedging pretty appropriately. I generally have an understanding of like, okay, you know, like here's this, I don't know, I could be totally wrong in this. So this is a thing about how I approach things, about approaching new topics. And two, I'm also very usually willing to quickly change my mind. If I see something, it's like, oh, okay, fuck, I was totally wrong on this. This thing I thought was stupid by Giuliani isn't as dumb as I thought. This thing here is actually different, right? I'm okay. This seems dumb, but these are two pretty hard things to come by generally. Most people are really bad when it comes to reaching outside of their area of expertise and hedging their knowledge appropriately. And most people have a pretty bad, or not bad, most people don't have the...
Thank you for the 199, Emery. You're delusional if you think he's
Emery super chatted $1.99. Tiny only just now understanding girl's point.
Destiny has understood Mr. Girl's point the entire time. This is another opportunity for him to pay lip service to the idea that he doesn't want his community to be rabid. Because he has to try and, they're scaring the hose. They've scared the hose. So he's got to calm it down. That's what's, you know, let's be real here.
Best epistemic toolbox for putting together new ideas and then matching convictions appropriately with those new ideas and hedging. Okay? So that's one thing. Okay? Keep these two things in mind, or the pair of ideas. Keep these in mind. Okay? Put these to the side. Second thing. Okay? I can talk to and communicate with a huge variety of people because usually there's something interesting about everybody, and I don't know. There's just a lot of reasons to find a lot of different people interesting, even if I don't end up talking to them again, or I don't, whatever. I can get along with a wide variety of people. I don't have to be talking about just things that I'm narrowly interested in. I'm usually pretty good at identifying what I think they're interested in, asking questions that are interested in me, if I give a fuck, whatever. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think there was a third thing. Oh, third thing. Okay. Similar to before, how I said, if you're quoting an article...
Yeah, legit. I find people... I can find interesting things about people. I can hold a conversation. I mean, this is impressive to your audience, I'm sure.
Variety of people. I don't have to be talking about just things that I'm narrowly interested in. I'm usually pretty good at identifying what I think they're interested in, asking questions that are interested in me. If I give a fuck,
mind blown by this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think there was a third thing. Oh, third thing. Okay. Similar to before, how I said, if you're quoting an article, you should only ever quote the article that you should only ever quote parts of the article that like the strength, the meat of the article is about. So for instance, if there was an article about like the war in Ukraine, and somebody were to say, like, you know, Ukraine's trains were destroyed by Russia. These were some of the most expensive trains ever built in Europe. And now Russia has blown them up because this is part of the war, blah, 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 blah. If I was creating a comprehensive book on trains in Europe, I would never cite to that article about trains in Ukraine being some of the most expensive. I wouldn't cite to that article because that's not what that article is about. It's about the war, right? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't source that article because the thesis and everything of that article is not about the cost of trains. That's like a throwaway sentence. Okay. All of this information is put in your brain and then put on the side, okay? There are a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of different people.
So, please tell, we're going to very quickly understand the point to that tangent, right?
That I talk to. If their strengths aren't in politics, I just don't usually care to hardcore dive into and critique them that much on this.
Why? What do you mean? What? No, that's cap. His entire politics debate career was jump-started by interrogating Jontron's political beliefs. By prodding him with questions and getting him to say some crazy stuff. Was his wheelhouse politics? I don't believe so. There's got to be some other examples here. What are his big videos? He used to argue politics with Asmongold. But debating JonTron, that's like still his second biggest. Who are some people that he's gone after for saying like retarded stuff? Joe Rogan. He's gone after Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan isn't a politics guy. He's not a fucking medicine guy. But if Joe Rogan's saying, oh yeah, I take horse trank, it's fucking based, sorts you right out. Destiny's going to be like, you're spreading misinformation. I'm going to end you. Obviously. Right? I don't think that's crazy. I don't know why he's suddenly pretending that he only cares if someone's involved in politics. Aiden Ross.
There's a thing that came up with Dan and talking to me about XQC, or sometimes you guys with Asmongold. I just don't, if your area isn't like politics, I'm not here to like grill or drill or roast or destroy or admonish you or hardcore critique. Like, I just don't, it's just not, this isn't your area of focus. So I'm not here to like drill in on that. I just don't care that much. So this is why, like, when people were talking about XQC, like, oh, like, well, XQC.
That's not true. That's not true. If someone is espousing, whether they are in politics or not, this is my read of Destiny. Whether they're in politics or not, if someone is espousing some belief that they clearly hold strongly, that is either grossly wrong or potentially harmful, Destiny absolutely will go after them. Think of Scuffed Podcast, man. How many people did he probably tear apart on fucking Scuffed Podcast and shit? Back in the day. Didn't they have a... Wait. Am I going crazy? Yeah, he had like an argument with Keemstar about the Christchurch shooting on Scuffed Podcast. Okay, whatever.
Did this thing with Trump. It's like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have. But also, this like isn't his. It's not his like huge area. Like, I don't care that much about it. It's not a thing that I'm like focused on, or that he's focused on. So I'm not going to focus on that. Okay, so all of this to say that I saw a thread that popped up. Okay, Ayla was ultra ass mad. Fuck, I'm not going to find this. Oh, this thing popped up. Every single person in chat typing, what about Asmongold? Has he become a political commentator now that he does more? You've missed the point so fucking hard, I can't save you, okay? I don't know what to tell you. He might be, but you're doing the thing that right now, unironically, that I'm talking about. You've completely missed the point of every single thing I'm saying, okay?
Why did you self-glaze for 10 minutes talk about a thread? I'm not sure what's going on here. What is that all about? What is the thought process behind the 10-minute I can hold a conversation lecture to lead into this? What is the... Why do that? Insecurity. I struggle to believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is my knotting. Maybe this is my knotting. Maybe this is because I still, I'm knotted. I struggle to believe Destiny is so insecure that he can't go over some criticism on stream without preemptively sucking himself off beforehand.
Emery super chatted $1.99. Why has Tiny never reacted to your criticisms?
Thank you for the $1.99.
Thoughtful face.
Was I a fucking nobody? Because I get like a 10th of his viewership. If that, not even that, 100th. A lot of the time. Like 100th of his viewership. At 1%. I'm a drop in the bucket. That's why. I struggle to believe this guy can't read a bit of criticism on stream without sucking himself off. A gorillionth. I feel like it's gotta be... Okay, here's a schizo. Okay, schizo mode, alright? Shinigami eyes on. I think I see it. That my pin board is out and I'm tying red wire between a bunch of pins on this chalkboard. He's aware that there's that his entire audience is desperately emulating. Okay? So by sitting there and saying, oh, the really good things about me are that I'm able to talk to people and I can find things that I like about everyone. And I can always, You know, I can accept different people and hold a conversation with them and not be a complete asshole to them if they're saying things that are a bit outside of their wheelhouse or a little bit wrong. Because then that he thinks they will take on that same. It's a way of trying to get them to take on that same thing. Because he's saying, this is a positive trait about me. This is what makes me Destiny. And then all of his fans go, okay, so if I want to be Destiny, I've got to be like that. That could be it, okay? It could also be that he just simply can't go over criticism without self-glazing himself. But I don't believe that. I thought there's got to be a little bit more consideration going into it there.
It might be that at some point Asmund is doing so much political stuff that I start to consider more in that space, okay? But you've missed the point, okay, completely of everything I'm talking about. If that's like if that was the only part of that you are so hyper fixated on. Okay. These are difficult things to sort through because I think Ayla's feedback is not great here, but the community is also not great here. And then there's a lot of compounding things that aren't great. But because I'm a god, okay, and because I can go through and see everything in the Matrix, unironically, one of my strengths is pulling out good feedback from dog shit posters. But I don't know what the original post was about here. I don't know what the fuck the are we not allowed to link tweets? I don't even know. Okay. So somebody says, what advice do you have to a community that skews male, trying to do events, how to prevent women from getting constantly hit on by the men and making them uncomfortable or fully not?
Dude, I wish I had. Someone's got a clip. Someone's got to find the clip of Fuentes and clip it. Okay, it's from his segment about Destiny's divorce. There's a clip of Fuentes where he's saying, "I'm like Neo. I'm dodging my ex-wife's bad arguments." Like, and he's doing like a Neo bullet time motion while he says it. Someone's got to clip this for me.
Not engaging with them at all as to not make them uncomfortable. Destiny's people struggle with this. I'm very high resilience to male horniness. I am regularly just fine in heavily male-skewed communities, but Destiny's community is unusually bad. I don't think it's because they're male, but because they're dumbasses. Plenty of other heavily male communities do much better. So this comment made it seem like because the community was so male, it seems like... Hold on, I'm sorry, just a quick thing. Destiny, you used to not debate slash you'll destroy, but you'd have a convo with them. I'll have a convo with anybody. I still do that. I still do. This hasn't changed. But I'm not going to go hardcore. I'm not going to go as hardcore into a person. As not a political commentator as I would somebody who is, right? Okay, first tweet in the thread. Gotcha. Don't care.
So here's the thing, right? Okay, let's accept Destiny's narrative here. Let's accept it. Let's take it on, all right? Let's buy into it. Believe it, as Naruto Uzumaki would say. Let's buy into it. Don't go hard on someone unless they're talking about things that are in their wheelhouse, in their main set of interests. Okay. What do people go hard on Ayla about? Her data stuff, which is like her main thing. That's the main thing people go hard on her about. And the other thing is her comments about the FDA, where many times over the last several years, she's gone on about how the FDA has killed more people than it's saved. And her boyfriend, her main business partner, is running like... Allegedly, I think this is what it is, human trials in Honduras. Right? He's got that tooth cream that is not in any way approved. And that he's just like running, like letting poor people buy in Honduras to just see how it works. And it's not something he made. It's something that I think they couldn't get past the FDA like 15 years ago or something. I think they broke up. He was crying about a breakup on Twitter. Yeah, we've got to remember she's probably got like 6 relationships, dude. Or like probably more than that. That could mean anything. But I'll keep that in mind. Regardless, I'd still think that's a perfect... That's enough. When she's made numerous comments about this over several years, that are like grossly like just insane, and she's with someone who is actually doing doing something that has an impact there, like actually running, using those, putting those beliefs into practice, having an impact on actual people. I feel like that's enough justification at that point to go kind of hard on that person, no? Under Destiny's own framework. I feel like at that point you can kind of say, okay, what? Well, no, now people should lay into this person a little bit. They should probe a bit. They should be like, hey, why the fuck do you think that?
Okay, so she's kind of responding to here about like, oh, well, the main problem must just be that the guys are horny or they're hitting on people. And then she responds that people in my community are generally dumb, but plenty of other heavily male communities do much better. And then somebody responds to her and said, what specifically was unusually bad? Something must stick out to you, right? Why are they dumbasses? Seems kind of spiteful. His audience just turned out to be unusually cruel and uncharitable compared to most other audiences I've encountered. So this part here is a better comment and almost certainly true. This one is kind of missing it, but this is almost certainly true. Okay. So the okay, hold on.
Belief. I do this shit for the
I'm not getting baited. I'm not getting baited by dumb comments. I'm not doing it. One of the issues that you guys have is you have the exact same standard for every single person's comment as you would have if I would, or if like a heavily politically involved person was making a comment, right? So if I was on a show and I heard, if I was having a debate with like Tim Pool or some politicals, Gorka or Constantine, Trigonometry, whatever, these people, and they had like offhandedly made the comment like, yeah, I mean, J6 wasn't even a big deal, right? We're going to back up and we're going to go deep on this, all right? What do you mean? If I was having a conversation with like XQC or Asmongold or Ayla or somebody else, and I'm like, yeah, I think that, I just don't trust the FDA all the time. I think that J6, it didn't matter that much or whatever. I might not even touch it. Maybe I will. If I will, it's going to be...
Okay, that's not... Like, why can you not even just, like, represent the claims accurately? Ayla wasn't saying, oh, I don't really trust the FDA. Ayla said some shit like, on numerous occasions, I'm fairly certain the FDA has killed more people than it's saved. The FDA should be abolished. It was not, oh, I've got some wariness about the FDA. I don't know if I feel like their processes don't allow for enough innovation. It wasn't that. It was they're killing people and it needs to be abolished. That is a way different claim.
Be very gentle, very whatever, kind of probe and see what. But this person is not specialized in this area, and I'm not gonna jump down their throat and go huge, and I'm not even gonna have like huge judgments. I'll probably think like, okay, well, I feel like you should probably be hedging more.
Like, this is just, that's like so dumb. He does not think, I don't believe he thinks this for a fucking second. If someone's making strong claims that are outside their wheelhouse, he will absolutely jump on them, and you should. If someone's saying they've got no basis for understanding, like, whether the FDA is a good thing or not, and they're saying, oh, actually, I think the FDA is like, having the FDA around is like having concentration camps. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if they're not fucking specialized. They're making insane claims. If someone's not a historian and they say a certain historical event didn't happen, does that mean you go easy on them? No, obviously not.
This person is not specialized in this area, and I'm not going to jump down their throat and go huge, and I'm not even going to have like huge judgments. I'll probably think like, okay, well, I feel like you should probably be hedging more appropriately since it's an area that you're not educated in, but that's it. I'm just not going to touch it much. But the issue that you guys run into is you will come down and judge so insanely crazy, when it comes. Lilith, you are permabanned. Goodbye. I'll read this. Oh, just so you know, I also permaban everybody in this thread saying this. I will always permaban you guys for saying this. You'll probably never come back because now I'm commenting my bans, just as a heads up. Destiny, you have different standards to police the behavior of the community when it's towards a girl. Anytime one of your friends gets triggered, the community suffers. I literally just gave you 2 huge examples for things that people aren't happy with my commenting about, which was XQC and Asmongold. Neither of them are women.
Coriander, if you want to come on Discord and talk about it, please feel free. However, if not, please stop talking, because nobody cares about your essay posting.
I haven't fucked either of them before. I have no plans to. So you are completely and totally fucking retardedly wrong there. Okay, that's your cope train. Have fun coping on that. But the every person that disagrees with you on stream gets 0 charitability from your chat. Even good faith people like Pisco, Wicked Supreme, irrelevant. They're immediately evil. It needs to be called in real time or won't change. Yeah. Sometimes like people can be wrong or people can, fuck up. And yeah, sometimes chat just goes like insane. You guys are way too binary sometimes on flipping the switch, which I can kind of buy sometimes, but even then you shouldn't. Like even the comments on Connor were like pretty brutal. Like, I didn't know Connor fucking hates America. And it's like, okay. So the ultra binary switches needs to fucking chill. And then the cracking down, like all.
Who taught them that? I mean, that's this whole thing, right? It's like just so obvious. It's anyone on the outside, anyone who's sort of like on the edges of Destiny's community, just outside it, sees the way they act, will say, yeah, it's really fucking annoying the way DJs are all desperate to be Destiny, and they all act the exact same. They all use the same phrases. And they talk about the same shit all the fucking time. And then he sees a behavior in them. Like, why are you guys doing this? Why are you guys doing this? Bro, your whole career is going hard on people in debates. Oftentimes people that don't have the basis or specialization to be making the claims they're making, and then you're able to sort of ask probing questions that cause them to talk themselves around in circles and embarrass themselves. And oftentimes, you'll get them into those conversations by making incredibly strong, hostile claims against them. He used to jump onto these panels and fucking just crush some, 30-viewer trans retard. Like, the idea that he's... it's insane. It's insane. It's obvious why they're like that.
Ultra hardcore on people who, like, their specialty isn't even really politics, also needs to chill. There's a lot of people, especially like in probably the techie AI world, who are going to be like, oh, I think libertarianism is actually amazing for a bunch of like probably half-baked reasons, but this isn't like their area of specialties. It's not a thing they've like ultra thought about. Much the same way that, I say like, I like these Windows. I'm not going to fucking waste my time with some fucking Linux distro.
I think he can see it. Like I said, I don't think he actually seriously, like, I don't even think this is, I don't think he's even serious here. Really. I think he knows that this is fucking lip service. I think this is like a... Yo, thank you for 5 gifted membership, Isu. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Huge dub. I think he knows they act this way because he acts this way. So long as he acts that way, they will continue acting this way. However, if he gets on stream and he says, guys, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. At least... other people, other content creators, other women from Twitter will see it and say, oh, look, Destiny's doing something. Steven's doing something to protect me. I feel safe going on stream. I thought that's the most likely explanation, because he must know that as long as he acts that way, he will have that audience. They are going to emulate that.
Bullshit. I just don't care. There's probably some guy out there listening, all right? And it might be the case. He's like, Destiny, you don't understand. There's like a pre-package that literally solves every single issue you're using. You're not even playing games on Windows, and it would make everything better, simpler. The drivers for every single thing you're doing are easily accessible. Like, it's not like using some distro from 20 years ago. Why are you even on Windows still? It doesn't make any sense. It would, like, right? The person could be out there, okay? But I'm not like a super techie guy, and I don't know anything about fucking Unix or Linux, okay? Or any of that cuck bullshit, right? So I would hope, or I would imagine, Okay, that the person isn't like, Jesse's one of the fucking most retarded fucking people. But actually, you guys do this, which is also annoying because if I do literally anything on stream, yeah, it's like, like it's everybody becomes an instantaneous ultra expert on it, and then the most insane fucking. Oh, sorry, that's the fourth.
Like, it's just baffling. How do you not see, dude? You are using a house picture as your live stream thumbnail. You became a cancer expert in a day, my guy. Like, how does he, again? I'm about to say, how does he not see it? He must see it. He must see it. He must see that they are emulating him. He must see that.
If I do literally anything on stream, yeah, it's like, like it's everybody becomes an instantaneous ultra expert on it, and then the most insane fucking. Oh, sorry, that's the fourth thing I should have put in. I can handle a psychopathic amount of negative feedback as well. Most people also can't do anything remotely to that level. Okay, 10K viewers hosted.
I think I must have heard this same phrase like so many times, but this is just funny. Like,
remotely to that level. Okay, 10K viewers hosted. Who hosted? Who rated? Yeah. So some of this is stuff that you guys take for granted.
Okay, that's kind of funny
because you watch me, and then some of this is just, yeah, you guys have to fucking chill the fuck out. Holy fucking shit. My God. Yeah. Devil's advocate. If a non-political person promotes a harmful idea, even if you don't take it seriously, an average person takes it seriously, sure, but it doesn't change how you should approach the person, right? Isn't this most streaming communities and not just DGG?
Quarterly crying about his audience he cultivated classic. I mean, yeah, well, this is classic Destiny, isn't it? There's too many socialists around here. There's too many mean people around here. There's too many gripers around here. There's too many Israelis around here.
Yes, I would say that most streaming communities, at least in the politics world, have this issue for sure. But because I breach because I reach out and I talk to so many other people, and because I have such a reach into so many other communities, you guys have to learn to hedge it. You have to learn to hedge it way better. Because what it ends up doing is it ends up isolating me even more than I already am because of my political opinions. I'm already like hardcore isolated. But like, and insofar as like Ayla's an interesting person. She's like pretty friendly. She is incredibly isolated politically. So this is a person that I can like very easily like have conversation. I never have to worry about anything weird happening because like her community is everybody like, oh fuck Destiny's and Nazi. It would just never happen, right? And then but obviously now because of this, and then there's been a ton of other people, right, where you guys just come down like so insanely harshly that it's like, oh, okay, well, this is like way too toxic for most people to engage. Yeah, eventually you'll figure it out eventually, or you won't, and I will just permaban you. So you guys need to chill the fuck out, hardcore. All right, Destiny. Obviously, your community wants you to have a chat with both XQ and Asman as they have.
Listen, look. Far be it from me to say Destiny can't change this. Okay, look, how would I know? I am a fucking nobody. Okay, I've got no clue how to steer a ship that big, But I will believe it when I see it. Okay, when I see an actual, he can say I'm gonna permaban. If you guys are going too hard on people, if you guys are being too debate bro-y to people who don't deserve it, you're getting permabanned and you're never coming back. If he's truly. Listen, I'll believe it when I see it. When that has an impact, okay? I just don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. They will always emulate.
Massive reach to spread tons of disinfo. I'm banned from Twitch. I can't really talk easily to these people. I talk to XQC every now and then when I can. It's hard to talk to Asmagol. We've spoken a little bit on Twitter DMs, but right now, Twitch has ensured that Hassan has essentially a monopoly on political commentary on Twitch. Okay, I can't do anything about that. To ask people to
one year from now, Destiny's chat will look like Pokemon stream. It's gonna be all purple hearts all the way down.
To these people. I talk to XQC every now and then when I can. It's hard to talk to Asmagol. We've spoken a little bit on Twitter DMs, but right now, Twitch has ensured that Hassan has essentially a monopoly on political commentary on Twitch. Okay, I can't do anything about that. To ask people to take a break from their stream and come and chat with me, to throw away thousands of dollars for the day and give me free content, everything, it's a tall order. Yeah. Just so you know, if you want that to change, then fucking write Twitch, okay? Blow up their Twitter every now and then, or send in an email from a company thing saying, I don't understand, whatever, do some shit like that. Apply
Yeah, this is how you get unbanned. I mean, to be fair, probably his situation probably can't get any worse at this point. Actually, I said that I was like, well, no, actually, he's probably. I mean, he's so turbo banned. He probably, you know, this is actually probably more likely to help than hurt at this point. Is to get him banned from YouTube? Nah, I doubt it. Ah, no shot.
Pressure. You can do a pressure campaign or something, but that's the thing that it fucks me the hardest.
Thank you, Content Sniffer. Great reminder. Guys, it's amazing to see we've got 369 people here right now. That's huge viewership. Great viewership on this on Sunday night. I almost didn't stream tonight because I was eeping in my chair like an idiot. But we've got 365 people here, I'm seeing right now. However, with high viewership like that, there's an interesting phenomena that occurs on social media. Where when you get a lot of viewership, there's a significant discrepancy between the impressions and viewership and the engagement, such as likes. So, guys, we're going to need you to really boost those like numbers right now, okay? That's going to require you to move your cursor to the like button and click it, or press the like button on the mobile device. What do you mean this guy's such an idiot, Stylo? Why even such a fucking asshole to me? Anyway, you could, if you want to support me even further, you can do so financially through the Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message, which will allow you to donate directly. You can also buy a membership or gift a membership through YouTube. You can gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat. You can buy a super chat, which will highlight your message and have it read out on TTS. Or you can buy a super sticker, which buy a YouTube image or GIF, highlight it in chat, and then I'll describe it. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't think you act differently towards men or women, but you having this talk, not after Asman, not after XQC, but after Alet had a thread, kind of gives that vibe. I've had this conversation quite a few times. I had a pretty huge fight with Dan, not a fight. Me and Dan argued about this, like, I think a week or two ago when XQC was here. I've had these conversations, like, relatively often. Yeah, but I don't have many people that are super outside my community. There's something that I can foresee happening, though. There's something that I can foresee happening, and I'm just giving you a warning, okay? I will ultra aggressively head this off, and there will be big bans, okay? You talked about this last week with Tectone. Oh, maybe, yeah, big bans. Because I can see my bridge with Turkey Tom or any of the commentary guys getting ultra fucking nuked because one of them makes a video where they probably have what I would say probably a dumb political take on like a trans issue or some bullshit like that. And then there's like a 700 comment thread about how horrible and retarded and fucking stupid Tom and like all these other young stupid fuck commentary, and they were always horrible stupid fucking people, and they were Leafy fan and never, like that thread is coming. It will happen in the future. This thread is somebody's already typing it somewhere. It's already coming. All right. But yeah, these are the types of things that I'm trying to head off. Why can't you talk to XCC and not Asmongold? Because XCC streams on Kick sometimes. He's usually streaming on Kick when we're chatting. Lex Friedman?
That's just like so gay to me. These commentary guys deserve it. I'm sorry they do. I love Tom, okay? I love Nick. I love Lyrics, okay? We love our commentary guys here, right, guys? Okay, everyone in chat loves commentary guys. But I heard some of them, not necessarily the ones I just mentioned. I think most of them are actually probably mostly agree with most things I think, to be honest. But plenty of commentary guys. A Cheeto, great example. A Cheeto, great example. Definitely deserve it. They could do with a bit of DGG. No. They could do with a bit of, you know, questioning from some autists online. They could do with having to talk about their beliefs for an extended period of time. They could do with that, actually. They could do with that.
Why are you bringing up Lex? I think the Lex reaction was maybe a bit too harsh, but Lex Friedman's specialty is politics. That's what he specializes in. So you can be more aggressive towards Lex because this is his area of expertise. I'm way more lenient in that direction than I would be in people that don't. They're not like politics heavy.
The Chud guy has it
Like,
coming.
But regular, not unhinged pushback is okay, right? Yeah. But that, yeah, a lot of this is not that. Like, for instance, I think there's Jesus. I hated Ayla since her first combo with Destiny, where she revealed herself to be a dumbass lawbertarian that wants to abolish the FDA and use markets to sort those kinds of things out instead. Like, this is kind of level thinking I'd expect to come out of a Trump supporter. She's a darling among Silicon Valley tech bros who want to pretend that they're different from the mainstream, so they adopt insane ideas. If you actually examine her beliefs, they turn to be extremely stupid. Like, what? Chill. This is like an...
Thank you. The membership, Osbalem.
850 upvote comment, right? Keep in mind that this is like a person who doesn't do politics. She's not like a political person that much, right? It's just, this is like an unhingedly insane, unhingedly, wait, why did Destiny not expect people to bring...
She's a pundit. She's like a social media pundit, right? You can cope and say she's a data researcher, but she's not. She's a social media pundit. Her opinions are going to be criticized in the same way you'd criticize any other pundit's opinions. Obviously. Right?
Bring up Lex. Because Lex's specialty is politics. That's what he does. What are you talking about?
Is it? Is Lex Friedman's specialty politics? He's just like an interviewer, isn't he? He does like loads of shit. Lex Friedman is it? Programming, viral AI, startups, and digital nomad life. Jiu-Jitsu, $2 million prize, CGI, ADCC, Ukraine, and trolling. Neuralink and the future of humanity. Survive. He was like an AI guy, right? Yeah. Steven Pinker. Deep learning. Statistical learning, Python, Stack Overflow and coding horror, Eric Schmidt, Google, Stuart Russell, long-term future of artificial intelligence. Like, yeah, he's like a tech guy. He's not a politics guy. He's the same as Ayla. She's a Silicon Valley whore. This guy's a Silicon Valley con man. Sorry, probably not a con man. That's probably a bit far. But you know what I mean. He's a fucking talking head who fucking bullshits his way through his fucking interviews. He is a con man. Stylo. Don't backtrack. He's a LARPer. Yeah, Silicon Valley LARPer. He pretends he's from MIT. I don't know enough about him, man. He had it right. He is a con man. Well, I made my readers better than I thought. Maybe my Shinigami eyes are clear. Okay.
Rewrite that comment to be an acceptable one, for example.
Bro, is so afraid of getting sued? I'm in the UK, dude. No shit.
Food Shops super chatted $19.99. As a DGGR, I 100% back everything Kuihman says. DGGL, heart, take notes for thought.
Thank you for the $20, Max. Thank you.
Okay. So let's extract. Okay. What are do I need to, do you want me to just write something out, or do I need to go through the process of like what I'm doing in my brain to make this an acceptable comment? How much do how autistic do I need to treat you?
It's a style. Lex Friedman shelling out 6 figures to boom with a little Jewish bro from South Worcestershire. What? Oh, Worcester Sherrington. Okay.
Okay. Let's read this. Okay.
I could see him doing it.
I hated Ayla since her first convo with Destiny, where she revealed herself to be a dumbass, libertarian that wants to abolish the FDA and use markets to sort these kinds of things out instead. Like, this is the kind of level of thinking I'd expect to come out of a Trump supporter. She's a darling among Silicon Valley tech bros who want to pretend they're different from the mainstream, so they adopt insane ideas. If you actually examine her beliefs, they turn out to be extremely stupid. Okay. So let's extract our general ideas. All right, what are we thinking? What are we thinking generally here? Okay, so we've got libertarian. Oh, we'll say like bad or half-baked ideas, such as libertarian, abolish the FDA, and we'll say.
This really requires a notepad, guys. This requires the notepad, guys. There's gonna be this is like a thesis level stuff.
Among men who want to pretend they're different and end up taking contrarian / crazy positions.
Women do be doing that.
All beliefs completely unjustifiable. Okay. Unjustifiable. Oh my God. Notepad autocorrects. Prediction markets for everything. Do we have that? Use markets. Okay. All right. Here's like, okay. This is our general. These are like our general big points. Okay. So keeping this in mind, if we want to be not fucking unhinged and we want to write something that comes across. So what is our goal in writing a post? What do we want to show? Okay.
Guys, remember, guys, okay. Remember, being inflammatory, guys, it's not the best way to get your point across, okay? Remember, DJ, this message brought to you by, if my parents were at a conservative rally, I'd hope they get... It's just so absurd.
Post, what emotions do we want to convey? We don't really like Ayla. And we want, well, this isn't just emotions. Okay, we don't, and we want to explain why. Okay, this is what we want to convey. This is, we'll just call this thesis, actually. We don't need this.
Exactly. I understand Destiny having the sort of like, yeah, he goes through his, yeah, I've watched his content. He goes through his phases of like, oh, I'm being nicer at the moment, I'm being meaner at the moment, I'm being nicer at the moment, I'm being meaner at the moment. I get, but this was like yesterday. This was like yesterday. This just happened. It's like literally just happened.
Love Mac. Knee super chatted $1.99. Free texty.
Stylo, how much does Texty have to donate to me to get her unbanned from Spicy Chat? Can we set a price here? $25.
That's okay.
And we play the Alien song.
Okay. All right. So this might be a way of writing this comment that doesn't come across as insanely fucking unhinged. All right. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Let's think. All right.
This is you got to negotiate this with Stylo, okay?
So we can tone down. We don't have to hate anyone. Okay. We don't need to hate anyone here because none of these people are personally involved with you or involved intimately with any political projects that like deserve our ire, our hatred. So we don't have to hate anybody. Okay. We could even say we don't even have to do dislike. We could do don't like. Okay, we can do like there's a name for this. Instead of saying like I hate somebody, it's like I don't like somebody. Instead of saying I dislike somebody, there's like it's like a positive. I don't know the name for this, right? Okay.
Yo, thank you for $50 Texty and the 5
Love
gifted
Mac.
memberships.
Knee
I
super
see.
chatted $49.99. Da 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 da.
Thank you. Stylo, you've got to unban Texty now. Come on. Thank you for the $25, Quack. Thank you. Did Quack get unbanned yet? Not Quack, Texty. Oh yeah, she did. Okay. Thank you for the $9.99, Max. Thank you. I don't get this. I get Michael Alberto simping and pussy whipped for every woman after losing his virginity. But Destiny buys prostitutes every week. He gave Lav 10 chances, now Ayla. SMH lost is evil. Okay, I don't think Destiny buys prostitutes every week. I don't think that's true. Thank you for the $10, Max. Okay. Let's go back to this content. Where were we? Where were we? Here we are.
Okay, let me just write it. Let me write a thing and I'll workshop this a little bit in my brain. Okay. We can even compliment Sandwich a little bit. We can be a little tougher. We don't have to use I feel statement. That's okay.
Wow, this is awesome. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So, okay.
Emery super chatted $1.99. Bro writing a dissertation on not scaring women.
Thank you for the $2, Emery.
Silicon Valley Tech Bros.
Oh, brother, no one should be leaving a Reddit comment this long. Do not encourage your fans to leave Reddit comments this long.
Okay, this is a workshop.
Food Shops super chatted $9.99. Kuihman forever. Black women on Discord never.
That's a classic reference. Thank you, Max.
Statement. Okay.
$10.
All right. So, okay. I hated Ayla since her first convo with Destiny, where she revealed herself to be a dumbass libertarian that wants to abolish the FDA and use markets to sort those kinds of things out instead. Like, this is the kind of level of thinking I'd expect to come out of a Trump supporter. She's a darling among Silicon Valley tech bros who want to pretend they're different from the mainstream, so they adopt insane ideas. If you actually examine her beliefs, they turn out to be extremely stupid. Okay, that's one way of saying this. Okay, here's another way of saying essentially the same thing that isn't as unhinged. All right. I wasn't a huge fan of Ayla when she first came on the stream. While it seems like she possesses some knowledge specific to the topic she explores on her Substack, a lot of the ideas that she explores outside of that pretty narrow worldview leave a lot to be desired. She inhabits the shallow, everything would be better if solved by free markets, the FDA is bad, libertarianism is the answer, world that people fall into when they don't think too deeply about their political outlook. Silicon Valley tech bros always seem to have some out there ideas, and it feels more like they're trying to separate themselves from the ordinary normie population rather than trying to genuinely explore or stake out.
Wait. Bug text you back out. The fuck?
Intelligent position on issues outside of anything tech related. Okay, so this is still like fairly-ish aggressive. Okay, we're making some kind of meanish claims, but we don't have to talk about how much we hate a person. Okay, we don't have to do the name calling. This is a dumbass libertarian. Okay, we don't have to do like disfavorable comparisons to like this is a fucking like a Trump supporter. We don't have to drip into the kind of sexist shit. That's okay. We don't need that. We're okay. Like, this statement here expresses our thesis. It demonstrates our thesis well. We don't like Ayla. This is why.
For Isaac, you're such a fucking asshole. Holy shit.
It gets across all of our main ideas here that we have in this top one, but it's absent like the dripping, scathing vitriol. Okay? If Ayla was just as mad at that first comment as the second, what would you say to Ayla? Well, I just wouldn't care. I'd say get over it or whatever. But, yeah. Can you read the second comment aggressively? I wasn't a huge fan of Ayla when she first came on the stream. While it seems like she possesses some knowledge specific to the topic she explores on her Substack, a lot of the ideas that she explores outside of the pretty narrow worldview leave a lot to be desired. She inhabits the shallow, everything would be better if solved by free markets. The FDA is bad. Libertarianism is the answer world that people fall into when they don't think too deeply about their political outlook. Silicon Valley tech bros always seem to have some out there ideas, and it feels more like they're trying to separate themselves from the ordinary normie population rather than trying to genuinely explore or stake out an intelligent position on issues outside of anything tech related. It sounds the same.
Thank you for $5, my crab. Thank you.
Rudimute Crab super chatted $3.40. Destiny gender transition arc imminent.
Thank you.
Genuinely mean this to you. If you think both of these sound the same or come off the same, okay, and you also coincidentally don't have very many friends in real life, find yourself in a lot of areas asking why women won't ever talk to you, aren't sure why you seem to get such negative responses on all of your emails that you send at work, and you're having these issues, it's probably because you are autistic as fuck and you don't understand how you come off when you talk to people. These two messages, and by the way, I think that writing this second one, I think there is a decent chance that it would kind of hurt. It would still hurt. This one is
fuck off. Get out of my fuck off.
Unhinged. Like, this is a comment that I think an ordinary person might see and maybe want to argue with a little bit. This is a comment that if somebody sees it, they never ever want to engage. Not only do they not want to engage with this comment, they don't want to be in the area.
Well, I'm sorry. Not everyone's going to sit down and write this out. That is like basically the same thing. This is like less. Sure, I feel like this would be less annoying. If you're writing out fucking paragraphs like this, you're like super gay.
Where this comment is being made, because this would be an area that you need to stay the fuck as far away from as possible. Yeah. This is like Destiny, as Dwarfy, I disagree with rewriting the comment saying the FDA is bad instead of saying abolish the FDA. Saying the FDA is bad implies a reformist mindset where she thinks there might be aspects to fix regarding the institution. Instead, Ayla believes that the FDA is inherently bad and wants to replace it entirely. I sourced some links in my comments showing Ayla harbors the more extremist attitude. No offense to you or to Ayla, but I doubt Ayla has spent a ton of time doing civics or government investigation. My guess is her opinion probably is heavily sourced by the Slate Star Codex article. That's my guess. I doubt that she's done a ton of like deep diving into the benefits and the detriments of third-party government institutions that, you know, enforce regulations in the United States. That'd be my guess. But if you really want, you can do.
Yeah. So why is she taking such a strong stance on it? Isn't that the point? Is she's taking a strong stance on it, but doesn't have a lot of knowledge, so she should be held to the fire for that? No.
Even the fact that that's your issue with this comment shows how autistic you are. Like, you could just replace that. Where is it? Where do we put the FDA? The FDA should be abolished. Okay, there you go. Isn't a large part of your brand being okay with a bit mean? No, I'm mean, but only when people it should only be when people deserve it. And the deserving part usually comes with the type of platform that somebody has, and it comes with the type of content that they engage with, right? I'm not usually just like unhingedly like, oh, here's a YouTuber that does a bakery channel, and we're about to roast the fuck out of this person's political takes for the next like 6 hours. Do you not believe that your tone on stream, like calling the previous chatter autistic as fuck, feels this Reddit fire? Genuinely asking in good faith, I know you mean well. It might a little bit, but if you can't see the difference, I'll just ban you. I'd just rather ban you. That's so easy. You should be able to selectively be mean to people. I don't think you're either a cockbag piece of shit to everybody or a nice soy fuck to everybody. You should be able to be soy nice to some people.
Yeah, that whole Twitter space started with him going like Cat Canada retard who clearly knew nothing about January 6th. And he went insanely hard because despite her not having a lot of knowledge on the topic, she struck out a strong position. She, struck out, stuck out, staked out. How do you say it? She took a strong position that he saw as harmful or staked out. She staked out a strong position that he saw as like harmful and uneducated, obviously. So he went hard on her. And that same criteria is met with Ayla. Ayla.
A fucking asshole to other people. You should be able to do that. And if you can't, that's fine. But I just don't want you posting in my community. Red Bar launched an investigation into you. I have no idea what Red Bar is. You're taking a 28. You're taking a 28-day break. Bar is. Red Bar launched an investigation into you. I have no idea what Red Bar is.
Wait, did that happen? Did he say something about that in his last show? Did he say it? Wait, wait, please don't tell me. Wait. Or is he getting trolled? No, he's getting trolled, isn't he? He's just a fucking Red Bar fan guy. Yeah. Doing the, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Red Bar's watching thing. Yeah. I see. That's funny. That's good. Yeah, Red Bar put you on fool's notice. Yeah, Red Bar's watching. Red Bar put you on fool's notice. Yeah. I haven't heard it phrased that way. I didn't expect to see it in Destiny's chat, to be honest. That's epic though.
You're taking a 28-day break. What if someone genuinely believes what they say in the first sentence? Isn't it basically a call for them to not chat or be active as much anymore? Just don't say it. Yeah, don't be active. Just don't say it. Don't talk about it. People are going to attack you over the Corey comments regarding the deserving statement, so you may as well address it now.
Dude, Red Bar Destiny coverage will actually go so fucking hard. Dude, why is that thought been raised in my mind now? Holy fuck.
We talked about this extensively. I don't know what else you want me to say. There's nothing. I have nothing new to add to that. Some of the comments in here are are unhinged. Jesus Christ.
Red Bar has only mentioned Destiny once. Fell asleep watching Destiny and had weird dreams. Shout out Destiny.
Some call it uncharitability. I call it low retardation tolerance, and it's going to get worse. Truly is the female Lex Friedman. It feels like you're holding your tongue sometimes to avoid burning bridges. That must have been a troll. That was a troll comment. That was obviously a troll comment. Okay, that's okay. I do get trolled sometimes. What did you think about the crescent moon question that Ayla asked you on the podcast? Oh, yeah. So I thought it was a totally fine question. But people in here, oh my God. Yeah, people in the subreddit, like, fuck, can I find this? Oh my God, they were so fucking mad. Recite the question? It was basically, the idea is, I think you ask somebody, where would you have to be standing on the earth? Where would the moon have to be? And where would the sun have to be in order for you to see like a half crescent moon, basically? And I think the answer is, I think apparently it's impossible to see this shape. You can't do it because the only way to see it would be for the sun to be in a position and for you to be in a position on the earth. And it's just, you would never be able to see like a half, it's like not possible or something. But she said that you ask the question to see how a person like reasons through things. And you can, yeah, there are tons of these types of questions.
What is this guy on about? What?
It's like not possible or something. Possible to see this shape. You can be on the earth. Where would the moon have to be? It was basically, the idea is.
Oh, this is that fucking Ayla thing from somebody, the podcast. Oh my God.
Where would you have to be standing on the earth?
Dude.
You might have two different people that are speaking.
Maybe you guys already know the answer. This is really dumb to you, but I'm gonna.
This is like. I watch it. It's like it's like the most excruciating 10 minutes of video ever.
So this is, imagine, so you know sometimes you're like in the middle of the night, you go outside, you look up, and you see the crescent moon. So far, so good.
That's when it's like not full, right?
Yeah, it's just like a little crescent.
Okay.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
So far, you're following.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, so where's the sun in this scenario?
In the same spot that it usually is?
Okay, so
from
middle
whose
of
frame
the
of
night,
reference, yeah?
You're looking above your head, you see the crescent moon. That means that most of the light hitting the moon is from behind the moon. And only slightly to the side because you're seeing a small crescent.
Yeah, so the moon would be like, the sun would be in the direction of where the light is. Like if the crescent is like here, then the sun is theoretically like that way.
Okay.
So if it's in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
how is it possible? Because if the sun is in behind the moon, it should be daytime.
I don't think the sun would be behind the moon, no?
Well, if it's a crescent,
Wait, what does crescent mean?
like just a little bit of light around the moon.
It's like this.
My understanding is that
camera work.
if the
Epic
Earth is
camera
here
work,
and you
like,
see
yeah.
a thing of the moon
Awesome
here,
stuff.
then the sun has to be back here, and it's the light that's making it like the
Like we're only
basically
seeing
whatever
bits
you
of it.
don't see of the moon is just a shadow that the Earth is casting on the moon from the sun. No.
Yeah, that's an eclipse. So if the shadow of the Earth moves in front of it's like a lunar eclipse, I think, or something.
Well, that would be if it's completely and totally invisible, right?
Well, you can have partial eclipses. But are you saying that anytime you see a crescent moon, that the dark spot is part of the Earth's shadow?
The way you phrase
No,
that
it's
makes it
just
seem
the
like I'm
non-lit
fucking
side of
retarded
the
for
moon.
thinking that.
No. So this question, when I first thought of it, made me feel completely retarded. But as I've asked it to more people, it's the process of answering the question becomes really fascinating to me. Like to me, it's less interesting if you know the answer and more like what.
I guess this would be my assumption. My assumption would be that if you only see like this part of the moon here, it's because the Earth is here and the sun is here shining light that's like illuminating this part
And
of the
you're
moon.
like-
Am I totally?
That's an
there.
eclipse. So usually it's not quite.
That's an eclipse?
Well, if the Earth is blocked.
Okay, so this conversation is like almost impossible to follow because Ayla's not finishing sentences and jumping around and shit. I think Ayla does actually understand like what would you call it? Cosmology? Here? I think Ayla does actually get it. Is like struggling to explain what she's trying to explain, but does get it. I seem to remember from last time I watched this. We spent ages going over it. It's not astrology, because that's astrology is the stupid stuff. I think cosmology is the actual position of the. Anyway, erudite is like constantly chipping in, and it's fucking horrible to watch. Because Ayla, I think she does understand. I think she does understand it, but she's just not explaining it well. I think they get to the point where she gets out. But it's fucking horrible, man. It's awful to watch.
Blocking the light from the sun, then that is an eclipse.
Oh, so
Well-
the moon would be like here?
So the little dot is the moon, in his thing. But in my scenario,
the moon should be like more
in my scenario, if you have the moon, and you see just a small sliver, this means that the light is hitting mostly the other side of the moon.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then it would be like, so it would be more like the Earth is here, the sun is here, the moon is like here, and you're here, and then like the sun is like lighting up that part, and then you're
Right.
here and you see it. Oh,
You're
okay.
right, but in that scenario, it would be much more than a sliver. It would be like over half of the moon would be lit up.
Okay. Why? Yeah, everyone's looking at me. I'm getting.
Because you have the picture. That's why we're all looking at you.
This is probably pretty frustrating for people who can't see the picture.
We have cameras. Fuck you guys.
Great.
Yeah, but you were turned away from all three of the cameras.
Okay, well, give me a second. Okay, hold on. I haven't thought
Why
about
don't
this
you
before.
use a notepad?
Why would I use a notepad when I have a digital notepad?
Okay.
Okay. You look up into the sky.
Yep.
And you see the moon.
Above your
okay?
head.
You look up into the sky above your head and you see the moon.
Yeah.
Okay. And the moon has only a small crescent lit.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are two reasons why there's no light on the moon, and it's either because the Earth is blocking it, which is a type of eclipse,
Yeah,
which we're
but
not saying.
I'm saying it's not that-
Or
yeah.
the sun is just not shining light there. So if we're standing on planet Earth and then we see the moon and some little bit of area is lit here, then that would mean that the sun has to be off in some area where you can't see it because there's no sunrise, it's the dead of night, and then but it's hitting the moon, right?
Yeah, but if you're on the Earth, wait, what am I looking at?
Okay. Sun,
Yeah.
Earth,
Yeah.
me, the moon. So the moon is like tracking ahead.
I still
It's
don't
not
understand
eclipse.
what the.
The moon is like over top, like it's orbiting in front of the Earth.
Okay, and so we should see about half the moon lit up in that case.
Half the moon in this case.
Because if you see the moon and half of it, that means the sun is in that direction. But if it's a sliver, that means the sun should be in that direction.
Is there like a?
myself or the moon in this case?
Well, we're on Earth, so. Wait, is there a hidden third source of light? Could it be like reflecting off the atmosphere from the
It's
planet?
no reflection.
It's always from the sun.
Yeah.
Play the like
It's so
dog video again.
I wouldn't have as much cool stuff if God didn't agree with me. Woof!
Thinking about this because it makes me so my father-in-law's a flat earther, like a staunch flat earther, and it's always interesting talking to him because he'll have questions about how like God, I hope he never hears this conversation. I'm gonna get the answer from you so I can tell it to him. But he'd ask something like this, and I'm like, I have a hard time like mentally putting like space with like circles and orbits and like figuring out the trajectory of like where things like it's just a hard question to answer if you don't know what the answer is. But there is an answer. But he would like use things like this to be like, see, that's why the Earth is flat. And you're like, I know you're wrong.
What's the argument for why the Earth is flat that's causing crescent moons?
I don't.
Yeah,
do you
this
want
one
me to
is
call
pretty
him?
simple.
The curvature.
See?
just
Now I feel even more retarded. Can you give me a hint? Point me in the right direction.
I think I'm going to explain why I think this question is interesting afterwards. But after you like wallow
the
in the
moon
feeling of
here?
retardation, so if it's in the dead of night, you're going to be on the opposite side of the planet. Like for example, like you're looking at me and there's a window behind me, and this window is a source of light, and probably you can see, I imagine, some kind of like light right here.
Yeah.
Like that would be an example of like why it's a crescent. So the sun, the source of light, is behind me. You're nighttime looking at me.
Wait,
how is it nighttime?
Yeah, but that can't be the case, right? Because that would be a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse.
I thought when the moon was in front of the sun, that's a
Yeah, but it's not
eclipse.
that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like perfect. I don't actually know why sometimes there's an eclipse and there's not, but the answer is not an eclipse.
Oh, so it is kind of like in front. It's just I'm on the wrong side of the planet.
Well, I can't really tell what you're drawing. I have a thing.
Do you want to draw?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Let me. Okay. So we have sun and earth, and it's nighttime, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the part of the earth that's lit, and this is the part that's not lit. So you must be like middle of the night. Let's say you're roughly right here, and you're looking upwards, and you're seeing the moon. The moon should be also lit the same way the sun is, and this part should be bright, which makes it a full moon. So how do sometimes you look up in the middle of the night sky, and why is it sometimes, if for a crescent, for example, I'm going to ignore this part. I'm just going to draw for a crescent, you'd have to, let me see.
Well, the moon, there's no solution where the moon is directly behind the Earth, right? The moon has to be off.
I'm losing interest, please.
some
Kuihman
other-
Play Subway Surfer,
It
please.
has to be like
Right?
Yeah. So what's happening when you look up in the night sky and you see a crescent moon?
It has to be like not like in a 90-degree from the planet or something, right?
Like somewhere like here or maybe in front, because if you're like here, then maybe this moon is like up in here.
Do you have the answer?
Yeah.
Give me a hint.
I don't know how to give you a hint. You're like on the right track or something.
Okay. We can edit this, okay? I have all fucking day, all right? Hold on. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So
So it's nighttime.
Is the picture that you drew a hint of how we should be
No.
thinking about drawing
Well,
a
this
picture?
is- this
'Cause
is
your
why
picture
it's-
Oh, I'm
is
just
nothing
letting
like
this
it.
play.
no. So
if
we're
you
here on
scroll-
the Earth, okay? We're here on the Earth.
Where can you draw where
Yeah,
we
you
are
guys
now?
enjoy this?
Well, okay. The sun is over here. Okay.
Yeah.
It's what Bridges is all about. Okay.
It's not gonna be something stupid like we're on the edge of like sunrise or something stupid like that, right? That would be dumb, right?
Well, what I'm doing is that you can tell me that it is dumb and you think that is the answer if you want.
But you see crescent moons everywhere. It doesn't really matter whether you're close to the equator.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
you're
Yeah, that's
not.
why I'm writing that off. So let's say that we're standing here.
In the middle of the night.
Okay.
Can you shade the side of the earth so that we know it's nighttime?
No, this is
Okay.
the sun,
Yeah,
so
well,
you
I
know
do-
this
okay.
is night.
All right,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, this is daytime down
actually
here.
didn't
The
know. I
fucking
wasn't
sun
sure.
is,
He has a
okay?
policy.
Okay. So now we look up into the sky,
Yeah.
and we see a moon that is only partially lit. Now, if the moon was here, then we would be seeing a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
If the moon was,
That's what I'm saying. Like in here. or,
What
like,
the hell are
right
they
straight
saying?
ahead of us.
okay, so if the moon is over
Probably speaking
here,
Spanglish.
I'm trying to think of what you would see. Would this be a completely dark moon?
Well, you could draw a line shadow on the moon just like you did on the earth.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like what you
That
would
would be a half moon.
Like what would your visual
That would
thing
be a half.
be?
Up.
It'd
It's
be
always
over a
kind of-
half moon.
This would be over
Shut
half.
up, Kyla.
Yeah, because you can draw
Shut
like
up,
a line
Kyla.
with what you can see
They're
like,
trying to
on
think.
the moon, vertically. Like if you're looking at a ball, something like that. Yeah, in that direction.
I'm not the best drawer. Okay.
Can you show the crowd, just so that they have an idea what's going on?
But you would probably see a little over half a moon. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it seems like the only variables that we have here is we can change where we're at on the planet, or we can change where the moon is between us and the sun. So it feels like the moon has to come down here or something.
Yeah, I said this when I watched it as well. Excellent production values where most of the segment relies on images the audience can't see. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Or be like up in here, like across this like a head in front of the Earth.
I think it doesn't. I think it does work like that.
Like orbitally, it just never.
I think actually no.
What?
Right?
Well, I
think
haven't played enough
regardless, that's not the answer.
Okay,
but
okay.
now it is. I forget which
Oh,
axis.
this is so good, man.
It's
I
the
love
axis
this.
of towards and away from the sun, I believe.
Sure. I know it's what is it called? Locked. There's a name for this. Gravity.
Oh, yeah.
Tidally locked, so you always see one side of it. But I don't know if that's not relevant to this. I don't know. I would imagine that the moon has to be like somewhere between like the sun and the Earth, so you're only catching like
Okay.
a part of it.
So are you arguing that you can never see a crescent moon in the middle of the night? Is that your answer?
Should we
Well, clearly
be
that's a
arguing
retaurical
that?
question
So-
that's meant to demonstrate
Yeah.
the fault in my logic somewhere, meaning
it's
that
not
there's no
necessarily.
way.
I'm trying to be as
Okay, so
neutral
you
as
can
possible.
only see
there
a
is an
crescent
answer
moon
here.
at sunrise and sunset.
No.
Do you want the answer?
I don't care.
Give me like 2 more minutes, okay? Give me 2 more minutes. Okay. First of all, let me check some. You can see a crescent moon in the middle of the night, correct? Is that true? I don't look at the moon. I live in a city.
I
I
don't
play
think
video
so.
games.
I'm trying to think.
I think I've seen a crescent moon.
We
At
have to
night?
wait. It's not a trick
it's, like,
question.
full blackout?
Can you?
You cannot.
Oh, you.
think
No,
I don't care about the moon. Cut this whole section.
No, but
okay?
I want to explain why this question's interesting. So when I first thought of this, I was like camping. I didn't have internet access, and I was really confused by this question because I had a memory of the moon in the middle of the night. I was like, I remember this. How can this be possible? And I didn't question my memory at all. And so I was just really confused. I was like setting up flashlights and things and being like, this isn't possible. I don't understand.
So you only see
But
crescents?
nobody suggested to me the possibility that I had a false memory, not a single person. And so I've gone around and I've asked a whole bunch of people this question, and it's interesting. So either people get confused in the way that you did, or people give me very confident answers. People will be like, oh, this is a very simple problem. We know how the moon and the sun operate. We learned about this in grade school. I'm supposed to be the kind of person that has a clear answer to this. And then they will just make up something and give it to me, and I'll be like, no, it's not that, and they just like won't hear it. And this is why it's one of my favorite questions.
Dude, no, she's right. You can't. Okay, she's right. You can't see a crescent moon at midnight. Yeah, at midnight. You can't see a crescent moon at midnight. You can see it dawn and dusk. You cannot see it around like midnight and the few hours around it. You can't see one at any time of the night. Well, I mean, it depends what you mean by night, right? You see it in dawn and dusk, which is, some of those hours are going to be night, basically.
Because either you're confused, which is the correct answer, or you happen to already know the answer, which is fine, or you're very confident.
My dad was that kind of person. I love him so much, but growing up, I don't know if it's a guy thing or there are women that do it too, but if you ask my dad any question, he will absolutely have, with 100% confidence, the answer for you, even if it absolutely has no trace to reality whatsoever, which was very interesting.
Yeah.
But
I do feel like it's more common in like masculine, the way we socialize like masculine people though. Like I feel like more often when I experience like what I call like man answering, it'll be like kind of.
Does Erudite go 5 minutes without talking about how life's so hard because she's a fucking woman?
any question, he will absolutely have, with 100% confidence, the answer for you, even if it absolutely has no trace to reality whatsoever, which was very interesting. But
I do feel like it's more common in like masculine, the way we socialize like masculine people though. Like I feel like more often when I experience like what I call like man answering, it'll be like kind of you confidently say an answer, even though you have like no clue. And it's like I do this sometimes too. But it feels like more socialized. Whereas like I feel like it's actually interesting. I feel like a more common like femme answer that we're socialized into is just like not knowing and then giving up and like kind of feigning, like saying I don't know and also not attempting to know, which is like how we socialize, I think, women. So I call that like women answering, where you're just like, I don't know. And you're like, you could probably figure this out in like 2 seconds. And like, Can you just like help me?
Yeah. So when you're asking like, what are the kinds of things that make somebody that like cause me to look to somebody for help and answers? It's like these two traits of both curiosity and confusion. Like, I don't know the answer. I'm really confused by this.
So you just shit tested
and persistence.
Thanks.
Well, I figured
Okay.
you'd probably.
Yeah.
I've seen you work on like the portal problem or whatever before. I've given you like weird thought experiments, and you handle it pretty well. But I think it's like it's a.
So it was a test for Destiny, but Kyla was trying to take part. Cool. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to this one.
Earth, where would the moon have to be and where would the sun have to be in order for you to see like a half crescent moon, basically? And I think the answer is, I think apparently it's impossible to see this shape. You can't do it because the only way to see it would be for the sun to be in a position and for you to be in a position on the Earth, and it's just you would never be able to see like a half. It's like not possible or something. But she said that you ask the question to see how a person like reasons through things, and you can.
Oh, is this an all-timer? Maybe catcalling isn't that bad. Maybe the demonizing of catcalling is actually racist, since most men who catcall are black.
Yeah, there are tons of these types of questions that people. There are tons of these types of questions that people can ask each other to see how people reason through things. But yeah, people got like, was a crescent moon at midnight. Gotcha. Not referencing Ayla specifically, but if a person's opinion is said with high conviction, doesn't it seem unfair that the criticism is mediated? Depends on if it's their area of expertise or not. But in my community, if you want to do it personally, knock yourself out. But if we do it in my community, we're just going to be completely and totally isolated from literally every single fucking thing we could ever be on. And I would rather just permaban anybody that does that than like have a community of people that are the most like vicious and vitriolic people, unless we are only talking about people that politically align with us about 95% of the time and can handle the type of feedback that like...
This is the guy who do I even need to say it? Last month, what was he doing? You get one attempt, one attempt answering that question.
I get like, yeah, it's just stupid, yeah. Comparison to Hassan's community will get the point across. Well, I don't care why would I care? I don't want to be like Hassan. Guys,
now is a great time to remind you, okay? We've got 365 people here right now. 131 likes. That means there's about 234 likes that we could probably squeeze out of the current concurrent viewership. Okay? So it's important we try and do that. If you're sitting there, freeloading, enjoying this content totally for free of charge, doing nothing right now, please remember to move your cursor to the like button and click that. Now, if you're on a mobile device, you'll need to just move your finger to the thumbs up and press that on your mobile device. That'd be epic. Okay, so let's try and pump those likes up. Okay, guys, see we're at 144 right now. We can probably boost that a bit more. We can keep that going, keep that boosting, keep that pumping. If you want to support me even further, though, financially, you can do so through the Stream Elements link and the pinned chat message. I'll let you donate directly. You can buy a membership to the channel through YouTube. You can gift a membership to the channel. You can gift a whole bunch of memberships to the channel randomly throughout the chat. You can buy a super chat, which will highlight your message and read it out on TTS. You can buy a super sticker, which will purchase a YouTube image or GIF, highlight it in chat, and I'll describe it. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you. Get a stop. Stop saying in my chat. It just makes me watch Trailer Park Alien again.
Community.
This is like exploiting my autism right now. Yo, thank you, Topher, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you.
There's the fundamental issue that the sub is like every other sub, super critical sub, such as YouTube Drama or H3 Snark, where every post is super endlessly critical. Yeah, it can be, but there's like a couple other issues going on. One is that because I am so politically independent, like I don't actually align cleanly with any political group, the level of the amount of people that we have access to in a friendly manner is like much lower, right? We can't cleanly map onto a progressive.
Thank you for the gifted Q. Thank you.
community space or an anti-establishment community space or a Trump pro-Trump or whatever community space, because we don't map on cleanly, it's easy for everybody to attack us and for us to attack everybody else. So at the very least, now I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. If you want to fight people that are else,
he was
one, but there's like a couple other
dude.
There's the fundamental issue that the sub is like every other sub.
He just said they
super
should
critical
be...
subs such as YouTube Drama or H3 Snark, where every post is super endlessly critical.
Yo, thank you, Markiplier, for the 99-cent glizzy. Thank you.
Yeah, it can be, but there's like a couple other issues going on. One is that because I am so politically independent, like I don't actually align cleanly with any political group, the level of the amount of people that we have access to in a friendly manner is like much lower, right? We can't cleanly map onto a progressive community space or an anti-establishment community space or a Trump pro-Trump or whatever community space, because we don't map on cleanly. It's easy for everybody to attack us and for us to attack everybody else. So at the very least, now I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. If you want to fight people that are politically different than us, I think that's a-okay. If you want to roast people who, stand RFK and Trump, that's fine. But when it comes to reaching out to communities that aren't like heavily political, we have to tone it way the fuck down. You have to tone it way the fuck down.
He just last month. Where is the video? Where is the video? Why can't I search on this guy's channel? Where is the video?
Yeah, I think he did a good job. Canada.
Wait. Did August use the
everyone.
old intro
Thanks
for
for
this?
joining the space. Destiny, I'm going to invite you as a speaker, so you just have... Okay, we can wait for a minute until he connects, and when he is connected, he can unmute himself.
Hear me? Hello.
You guys,
It's gonna be
okay?
how it should go. Every single
just drop like a heart or a hello.
I'm muting them for a sec. This is going to be how every single conservative debate should go. If you debate a conservative, this is how every single one should go until the election. This is going to be a walkthrough for okay?
So I just wanted to...
Remember he said this? Remember he was saying, treat these people like scum. These people are filth. They're traitors. This is a guideline for how every conversation with a conservative should go.
Create this space because there was obviously a huge event happening yesterday, and as maybe some people saw, there's a lot of arguing going on about Trump and who he is and all that stuff. So I just wanted to chat with Destiny. Hopefully Circle does this in Canada. He will... I don't actually tweet that he...
begging you do
so
it's laid out in the indictments, and 5 minutes for capital over there for their lower. Donald Trump's way of defending himself was to...
Well, I wasn't following it that closely, so no.
Okay, well, are you aware that Donald okay, how many videos have you seen of getting work that
I can't go skip through this whole thing. Fine, where he starts actually going hard, but yeah, you get the point. For him to turn around now and say, you got to be understanding. If someone's, not got a lot of knowledge on something, you got to be nice to him. You got to approach him calmly. The fuck are you talking about, bro? Why do you think this is happening?
Now, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. If you want to fight people that are politically different than us, I think that's a-okay. If you want to roast people who, stand RFK and Trump, that's fine. But when it comes to reaching out to communities that aren't like heavily political, we have to tone it way the fuck down. You have to tone it way the fuck down. Destiny, commit to not doing mass unban on Reddit for 2 years, then maybe people will give a fuck about getting a permaban on there. Without that, they know whenever you have...
I don't think that's true. It's not as weird. Destiny was actually nice. That person was walking through everything. I thought that's the Cat Canada person. I thought he absolutely would tore her fucking shit apart by the end of that.
When you next have a controversy and ban people each morning for the next 7 days after the event, and then mass unban means you just have to wait it out. No, you're totally and completely fucking wrong. People don't like getting banned. People don't like the last mass.
Yeah, exactly. So Ayla isn't political. Exactly. Even if you want to say like is that Cat Canada person clearly doesn't fucking know anything. She's as political as Ayla is. Ayla is always talking about fucking politics and like social issues.
Mass unban took like 3 years to happen.
That's the whole thing.
Not a thing that I don't think people factor in their head. For people that care that much, they just make a new account and they come back and they do it again. One flaw that Moon question highlighted was that you feel a pressure to think of an answer immediately instead of taking time to solve the puzzle. It happens sometimes in Time Guy, sir, but there you take more. No, it's not. It's people can approach problem solving in a really bad way sometimes. We watched a YouTube video on this that did it in a similar type of.
Is it what did he actually say there? He didn't just say that, did he, Big Lundy? And I'm not going to debate you in chat. I'm not going to debate you in chat. You can come on Discord if you want to talk. But we'll go back. He didn't just say that, did he?
Destiny, commit to not doing mass unban on Reddit for to communities that aren't like roast beast. Now I'm okay with that. I'm progressive. There's the fundamental issue that the sub is like every other sub, super critical subs such as YouTube Drama or H3 Snark.
Discord.gg/Kuihman.
Critical. Yeah, it can be, but there's like a couple other issues going on. One is that because I am so politically independent, like I don't actually align cleanly with any political group, the level of the amount of people that we have access to in a friendly manner is like much lower, right? We can't cleanly map onto a progressive community space or an anti-establishment community space or a pro-Trump or whatever community space. Because we don't map on cleanly, it's easy for everybody to attack us and for us to attack everybody else. So at the very least, now I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. If you want to fight people that are politically different than us, I think that's A-okay. If you want to roast people who, stand RFK and Trump, that's fine. But when it comes to reaching out to communities that aren't like heavily political, we have to tone it way the fuck down. You have to tone it way the fuck down.
So aren't heavily political. So where's the line on that? This is about Ayla. This is about Ayla. Right? Where is the line on this? Explain that to me. You're saying, oh, you can roast Trump and RFK supporters. Okay, cool. What about someone who's a gaming YouTuber, like maybe like an Asmongold? Let's say he started being like, oh yeah, I really like RFK, or well, not RFK anymore, because RFK's out. Let's say he starts going, oh, I really like Trump. I actually really like some of the stuff Trump's saying. What, you can't roast him? Where is the line? Anyway, we'll bring you in. So, did you hear what I just said?
Sorry, I had to pause you because I didn't want to.
I'll just repeat it for you now. So, this is about Ayla, right? So, Destiny's saying, if someone's not heavily political, don't roast them. Where is the line then, where Ayla is not heavily political enough to roast, but a RFK supporter, such as like Joe Rogan, who Destiny has gone after, would be political enough to roast?
So there's obviously a difference between people who are, clearly partisan. I mean, in the debate that you brought up as an example of him being an asshole to people and being like, oh, isn't this not okay anymore? He literally was debating against people who were saying that the insurrection was fine. It's not okay.
What I said is,
you pulled it up as an example of like, he just did this a month ago.
Yes, yeah, because he made it clear. If someone is questioning the idea that Jan 6 is an insurrection, if someone is defending Jan 6, you should treat them like scum and you should go absolutely as hard as possible on them. So if a gaming YouTuber, or if a Joe Rogan, or if an Ayla, like where's the line here? Which one of those is it okay to go hard against?
If somebody who doesn't normally, if somebody who isn't a part of the streaming community, or somebody who isn't like a part of like politics just generally speaking, and by the way, if you join a fucking Twitter space about Trump, chances are good you're in that fucking community, decides to have an opinion about something, then you can engage with it.
Okay, so how is the comment about Ayla's opinions on the FDA? How does that not qualify for that?
So, remind me real quick what her opinion on the FDA is.
That it's killed more people than it's helped, and that it should be abolished.
Okay. Retarded, but okay.
So, you don't think that's a strong enough opinion to be criticized in the same way as defending Jan 6?
Absolutely not, no. Are you fucking shitting me? Absolutely not.
So, why?
So, Jan 6 was literally a coup attempt. Wanting to abolish the FDA because you think they're incompetent at their job and they end up getting people killed is just being kind of dumb. I feel like these aren't very equivalent things. Like, do I treat somebody like, hey, I think that we should do more homeschooling? Should I be treating them the same way that I do somebody who's like, yeah, the coup?
So explain to me how being denialistic, should we say, about a coup is less impactful of a position than saying,
because they're lying, for one, or two, they are willfully ignorant and supporting the possibility of another coup.
If someone thinks that the FDA should be abolished because it kills more people than it saves, they're either lying or they're willfully ignorant, and they are increasing the risk of a bunch of people dying because we remove regulations for a libertarian cause. Like what?
What?
Saying the same shit applies. One of these.
No. One side is trying to open up the possibility of further coups, and the other side is just like, I don't like the FDA.
No, one side is trying to open up the possibility of further coups. The other side is trying to do away with regulations that protect people's lives. They want human trials. Her boyfriend was running human trials in Honduras.
In terms of what, like no more regulations ever? Is that what
They think it should be done by betting. They think it should be betting markets. It should be a libertarian betting market. Yes.
Libertarian betting markets. Okay. Well, then you just explain why that doesn't. That's probably not going to work.
Okay,
I mean, it's a theory.
So why,
it's an
so
idea.
why can't you just?
So
why wouldn't you just calmly explain why January 6th was a coup?
For one, that is generally speaking the way that he starts it. But the problem is everybody
no,
engages
it's
in that
not.
conversation.
He said this is how every conversation should go. He said this is how every conversation.
Yes, and if you watch him going through those conversations, he starts by saying, "Okay, do you accept that this
scum?"
happened?
And he was saying they should be.
No.
Fine
Hold
if they
on.
got shot.
Because there's a difference in the way that the conversation actually goes. Because he starts off by saying, "Okay, do you accept that this happened? Do you accept that this happened? Do you accept that this happened?" And the moment they say, "No, I don't think that happened," he says, "Okay, well, you can find out that it happened here." And if they continue to deny, okay, well, now I'm going to hold your feet to the fire and your.
And then he says, "I wouldn't give a fuck if you got shot." Yeah.
Okay.
But you see how absurd your position is here.
No, because I'm literally telling you that it's about the way in which the person engages with the argument.
Okay, so you think Destiny's saying that for January 6 supporters, RFK Jr. supporters, Trump supporters, whatever, people should start off engaging really nice and then go mean. Because a minute ago you were saying it was fine to roast RFK and Trump supporters, and now it sounds like you're saying it's actually not fine to roast them. You actually have to start off friendly, and then you have to give them a chance to justify it.
They've had everything explained to them. But regardless, if somebody is engaging in a conversation, and you're the one who said that it was an example, and you're saying that, well, he said it was an example of how these conversations should go. Well, that's how he did the conversation. So now you have a problem with it? Now you think that was him immediately going in fucking full bore?
What was the conversation about?
It was about January 6th.
No, what was it actually about? What started it?
It was about somebody telling him that he was wrong about January 6th. And then starting a Twitter space to have a conversation about it.
Why did it actually start? What was happening? How did Destiny get his, if you get shot?
When he said, I don't care that Trump supporter got shot?
I don't care if Trump supporters get shot, even if they're just civilians.
You mean the thing that he does where he says, hey, by the way, I'm an asshole, just so everyone's aware? I don't want to make that a secret.
Okay. What does that change? So if his supporters say they're assholes, it's fine to do that.
It's about whether or not you are comfortable with a certain level of antipathy coming from yourself in any one particular regard.
Okay, so explain to me why you can do this about January 6th, but not about the FDA being abolished.
Again, it's about how they engage with the conversation. Now, generally speaking,
no, it's not,
somebody who is talking about January 6th, it is.
Well, no, it's not.
Because that's exactly how the conversation went.
Because if one of Destiny's fans was saying, I wouldn't give a fuck if people who want the FDA to get abolished got shot, he would probably ban them, right? He would say that's not acceptable. He would say that's bad.
Yes,
behavior.
Because that's ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous, but saying it about January 6th isn't?
Because it's a fucking coup attempt, man.
Why does that make a difference?
Well, one, it happened. The FDA didn't get abolished, and it's not under threat of being abolished.
Okay, we're talking about the belief. We're talking about the position. They're not the ones doing it.
Yes, and we're talking about the realistic chances of them actually advocating for something that will do actual harm.
So now it's about how
there's a variety. Yes, no, don't say it's now about. It's about a variety of different things. Trump supporters, generally speaking, who denied January 6th was a coup attempt, are usually very dishonest in the way in which they approach the conversation. That's strike fucking one. The way in which they, the reason that they deny it usually also is dishonest. That's strike fucking two. And the way in which they engage in conversations tends to also demonstrate that they are pieces of shit. That's strike three.
And this is also, just like you're just having an emotional.
Number four. Here's another one.
You're not actually giving any points. You're just having an emotional spurg out. You've not laid down.
Okay, I'm not giving any points. Can you repeat my points? Can you repeat my points?
You just said Trump fans are liars, just like 3 times, basically.
You think that's what I said?
Yep.
Okay, so you didn't understand what I said. Okay, so I'll go ahead and repeat it for you, since you didn't understand what I just said. The way in which they engage with the conversation is dishonest and bad faith. That's
So
one
Trump fans are
strike.
liars. Okay, got you.
The reasons that they give for why they don't believe it tend to also be dishonest.
So Trump fans
Or
are
bad
liars.
faith.
Point 2, got you. Okay, so 2 of your points for Trump fans are liars. What's the third one again? Sorry.
So I'm not entirely understanding why you're deciding that liars is just one thing and like it applies to all things.
Okay, so you did just say
like
that
you're
three
having
times,
you're having a
didn't you?
basic
So
category.
you did just
error
have an
here.
emotional spurg out. You couldn't actually lay down.
You're
why
having
you think
you're making a basic category error where you think that someone lying in one particular instance means that they're a liar in all particular instances, which is really weird. I don't know why you're doing
It's
that.
really weird, dude. You're embarrassing yourself so bad right now. It's really weird.
I know
that
you
don't-
think
you
that.
didn't make a serious
I know
point.
you
You haven't
think
made a
that.
serious
I'm
point.
explaining
You
it-
haven't drawn
I'm
an
expla-
actual delineation for what the criteria is.
I've made plenty of
Destiny,
serious
at no
and
point
good
did
points that
Destiny
you have-
say.
Yeah,
and at
yeah,
no
yeah.
point, at
I've
no
made-
point
I've
did
made
Destiny
several
say.
really
At no
good points.
point
Yeah,
did Destiny
yeah,
say.
yeah.
At no
Yeah, yeah.
point did Destiny say that you should engage with people based on a level of honesty. He said you should
Oh, my
engage with people
goodness.
based on
He
whether
didn't
it's their
say the
specialty or
exact
not.
words that I said. You
Yeah,
couldn't
he
possibly
never
derive that
laid
from
that
what
out
he
as a
said,
fact.
though.
That, no, he never laid that out. He never even hinted towards that. He said it's about whether it's their specialty or not. So
Whether
in
it's
theory,
something that
so
they
in theory,
generally engage in, whether it's
Well,
a part of the community, they're a part of the community in some
Ayala
sense.
has repeatedly spoken about wanting to abolish the FDA and saying it's killed more people than it's saved over the course of the last 4 years. She said that numerous times, and her boyfriend and business partner was running human trials in Honduras for a tooth serum. Okay, because it wouldn't get approved by the FDA. It was a drug that he bought the rights to from another company that failed to get it through the FDA about 15 or 20 years ago. So how is this not specialty enough? How would it be more justified to go after Asmongold for defending January 6th, should he do it, which he hasn't, but should he do that? How would that be more justified than going after Ayala for this based on the criteria?
Okay, so first off, I didn't
laid out?
actually say it would be okay to go after Asmongold the same way that you would any
Okay,
Trump supporter, regardless
okay.
of what it is that he said. So
you
making
can
shit up,
be
that's
so
as far as that's
okay.
concerned.
So say this to me now. You think that this January 6th point, this doesn't apply to someone who's not a politics
He
streamer.
literally said Trump supporters.
Yeah, okay, so if Asmongold came out
And
as a
many
Trump
of them
supporter,
generally tend to deny
so
January
if
6th.
Asmongold
That's
came
one
out
of the main reasons why
so
they're
if
a big
Asmongold
issue.
said, I'm voting Trump, I support Trump, I love Trump, and January 6th wasn't a coup, it wasn't an insurrection, would it then be justified to go after him?
To go after him in the way in which
Under the
Destiny went
criteria
after the
Destiny
people
has
who
laid
went
out,
after-
yes, in the way that Destiny has.
Probably not, no.
Why not?
Because it's not something that he generally engages in. He's not in.
So
he's
you can
not
be- so-
influential in that particular sense. He has the ability to simply disconnect from any of the politicking because it's not a major part of his content
Okay.
in any particular sense. So you have to engage with him, at least in some level of understanding,
Okay,
so
so
that
why?
he actually
Okay,
has the.
so why is it
desire
okay
to
to go?
listen to you.
Okay, so why is it okay to go after Joe Rogan?
Because that's literally his content.
No, it's not. He's a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
But he is. That's how he got to start. That's how he built.
If you don't think, okay, so that's how he got to start. His podcast
Is he a
not
doctor?
politics.
Is he a doctor? Why did Destiny go after him for the ivermectin stuff? Is he
his
a doctor?
podcast,
Why
the thing that he's
is
most
he a
well known.
doctor?
Thing,
Is he a
yeah,
doctor?
yeah, yeah. His podcast.
Is
the
it a
thing that he's
medical
most well known
podcast?
for, and the thing
Yeah,
that's
it's a
most
comedy
popular. His
podcast.
podcast,
Is it
yeah, his
a- is it
podcast,
a-
yeah. It's just a comedy podcast. It doesn't really do any politics.
Is it
Not
a
really,
medical
not generally,
podcast?
no.
Is it a medical podcast?
It goes over politics
Is it a
basically
medical
all the
podcast?
time. Doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter? I thought it was about specialty.
It's not about specialty. I didn't say about specialty, and neither did Destiny say it was about specialty.
Okay,
It's about
does
being
Joe
part of a
Rogan
particular community
regularly
and being a part of a
engage
particular type of content mill. That's
in
what it's about.
Is Joe Rogan in the medical content mill?
Partially, I suppose.
No, he's not remotely. What medical content mill is Joe Rogan in? Well,
Probably the anti-vax
Is he
community,
like-
I'd say. That's definitely a big one.
okay, you recognize the issue here, though, right? Because now anyone, Asmongold
That he has a
would
lot of
then
people
be-
who watch his content, and then he gets a lot of
But
money from people who are
Asmongold
anti-vax that
then,
like
if
his
he
content
started,
whenever he's
but
exploring
then
that particular content.
Asmongold, if he started supporting Trump, he would then be part, by the same definition, he would then be part of the right wing.
No, because he hasn't built that type of community, no.
Yes, he has. He's got a massive
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he does.
Anti-SJW, that doesn't fucking mean shit.
That does mean shit. They're gonna
Not,
side, if he
not,
starts
not, not in
saying
the slightest.
which side do you think anti-SJWs are more likely to vote for?
You'd be fucking surprised, bud.
No, I wouldn't.
Nah, I would. I think you would be. I think many anti-SJWs are perfectly fine voting Democrat, bud.
Yeah, many of them. Which one do you think they skew towards? though?
Someone apparently either
Which side?
wasn't
Which side do you
here
think they
for
skew
it.
towards? Which side do you think they skew towards?
I don't know. Honestly, that shit can
You
be
really? You
50-50.
can't make any estimation.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, you weren't here for
is so
the
funny.
anti-SJW
This is
schism that
hilarious.
happened. Like, I'm going to go ahead and teach you a little bit of history. So,
Bro,
back
I
in the
know
day,
every,
the
dude,
anti-SJW.
I literally shut your goofy ass up. Everyone was here for it. Everyone knows what happened.
Yeah. So you know about the anti-SJWs
Yeah,
and
there were like
with the other
five. There were like
anti-SJWs because
five
they were
content
liberals.
creators. There were like 5 content creators that were actually liberals, and the rest turned alt right. Yeah.
Damn, crazy, right?
Yeah.
How can you be an anti-SJW and be a liberal? That doesn't make any sense, right?
So which side would they skew?
Well, considering that one of them was a very big YouTuber at that particular time and had loads of support, I'm not entirely certain.
Yeah, who was that?
Thunderfoot.
Oh, brother. Yeah, how'd that work out?
You went back to making science videos, no one gave a shit?
Yeah, and who's the biggest anti-SW now? Who's still around? Who's got a news org? 2 of them, actually.
I guess
Timefall and
Sargon?
Sargon have both got news orgs, basically, where they're pumping out content like nothing else. Like, do you see that? So which way do you think it skews?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay, if you literally can't engage, you are gone.
Destiny, commit to not doing mass unban on Reddit for 2 years, then maybe people will give a fuck about getting a permaban on there. Without that, they know when you next have a controversy and ban people each morning for the next 7 days of the event, and then mass unban means you just have to wait it out. No, you're totally and completely fucking wrong. People don't like getting banned. People don't like the last mass unban took like 3 years to happen. That's not a thing that I don't think people factor in their head. For people that care that much, they just make a new account and they come back and they do it again. One flaw that Moon question highlighted was that you feel a pressure to think of an answer immediately instead of taking time to solve the puzzle. It happens sometimes in Time Geyser, but there you take more. No, it's not. People can approach problem solving in a really bad way sometimes. We watched a YouTube video on this that did it in a similar type of way, and I don't think anybody soyed, oh shit, am I having laggy issues? I bet I am. Look, why is my connection so weird? This is another example of that. This is a similar type of question that gets the point across as well.
I'm going to give you guys
Okay,
three
I
numbers,
don't want to
three
watch
numbers
him go over some fucking gay Veritasium video. Does he talk more about this A-list stuff? Or not? No, it looks like he's done with it.